Welcome back, Newcomb family, to Living the Newcomb Life. I'm Jerry. I'm going to show you how to make a self-watering container. The thought process is I'm going to use 4-inch pipe in the bottom. I'm going to cover it with weed fabric. And basically what you want is I'm going to have compost in the bottom and then potting soil up above that, and that's what we're going to grow in. The thought process is you want to have about 85% of the area on the bottom covered with that pipe, because what you want is you want that soil, the 15% that's on the bottom on up, you want it to wick that moisture up through so that it'll basically water itself. And the theory is you only have to water it about once a week. As you first do it, you might have to water it about every week and a half, but as the plants grow, they're going to use up more and more water, so you will have to water it a little more frequently. But basically the thought process is right around 5 to 7 days at most, and that's at the very end of the growing season. So I'm going to show you guys how this works out and explain all of those steps. All right, so I'm going to start off cutting my pipe. What I did was I went to Home Depot and I bought a 10-foot span of 4-inch corrugated pipe. You don't have to use corrugated, but it is going to allow the water to go in and out a little bit easier. But you can go with the uncorrugated pipe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this about 13 to 13 and a half inches long, and then I'm going to cover it with that weed fabric. All right, there you go. So I just cut my 13-inch pipe, and now I'm going to cover it with the weed fabric. I've already cut the weed fabric to size. I've got my 2 end pieces that I cut, and I literally just measured the circle here and then added on about another inch to maybe 2 inches, because the idea is it's going to lay over like this, and then I'm going to take my clamps, and I got these from Home Depot, Lowe's, something like that, and this is just going to go over top of that, and I'm going to clamp it all down. So I found that this part is a little bit easier if you're doing it sitting down. It kind of allows you to cradle the pipe and hold the fabric in place better. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I did spend a little bit of extra money. I got the commercial grade weed fabric. You don't have to do that. I just did because the point of this is when it's wrapped like this, you want the dirt to stay out but the water to go in. So the thought process is if you use a little bit better material, it's going to do a little better job. So that's what I did. So this is commercial grade fabric that I bought through Amazon and had delivered. Okay, and that's it. We're ready to start building our tub. So what I have to do is I'm going to have to drill a hole in a perfectly good tub. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a 5/16 drill bit, and I'm going to measure about 3.5 to 4 inches up. Basically what that means is this pipe it's 4-inch pipe, and you want the hole to be about 1 inch from the top of there, because you're going to need 1 inch of air in there to allow that water to properly wick up the soil. So I've already pre-measured for my holes. I'm going to drill those really quick. All right, now I'm going to add my corrugated pipe. Like I said before, you want about 15 to 20% of the soil going in between your pipe, so that that soil will then wick up that water up to the plant. I'm going to put my seams towards the bottom. The thought process is if they're on the bottom, they'll be less apt to catch any dirt in it, and we only want water in our tubes here. All right, I got my fill pipe. You can see it's cut at a 45. You want to face the 45 outward towards the hole that you drill. So I'm going to place that in right now, and then I'm going to put my compost in. So got my 45, got it placed towards my hole right here, and I cut it to length. So these are 40-gallon tubs, and I'm going for about half of the tub to be compost, and it turns out that it's 3 of the 5-gallon buckets, so right around 15 gallons of compost in a 40-gallon tub. All right guys, last tub. All right, there we go. So now that the compost is in, next I will be putting in potting soil and the fertilizer, and then we'll be ready to plant. We're ready to add our amendment to our tubs. What I have is Sustane, which is a 464 fertilizer. This is a sea mineral. By the way, I got this recipe after watching Gardening with Leon. So if you get a chance, check out Gardening with Leon, and you'll see how he came up with these ratios. What really interested me was Gardening with Leon has his self-watering tubs, and the tubs that he uses are they're tubs that are filled with minerals, and they're used on cow farms, and the cows will lick those minerals, and those tubs are left over. So Leon would gather up those tubs and he would use them as self-wicking tubs. The ones that he uses are 28 gallons, and the ones that I'm using are 40 gallons. So I had to modify this recipe a little bit. So like I said, this is the 464 Sustane. It's a naturally organic fertilizer. And then this is a sea mineral fertilizer. Basically, it's seawater that all of the water has been evaporated down, and this is everything that's left over. And it has 90 different minerals in it. And then Epsom salt, gypsum, and lime. So going from a Leon's 28-gallon tubs to a 40-gallon tub, for the 28-gallon tubs, it's a half cup of Sustane, a quarter cup of the sea mineral, and then an 1/8 of a cup of the Epsom salt, the gypsum, and the lime. But since I'm going to 40-gallon tubs, I had to modify it a little bit. So it'll be 3/4 of a cup of Sustane, 3/8 of a cup of the sea minerals, and then 3/16 of a cup. And I don't have a 3/16 cup, so I'm just gonna eyeball it, of the Epsom salt, the gypsum, and the lime. So what I did was I combined everything in here, and I also added a cup of bone meal and a cup of blood meal. So what that's going to do is the bone meal is really good for a root type of a vegetable like radishes, turnips, and beets, which is what we're primarily going to plant in our tubs. But I'm also doing the bone meal because we do like to eat the greens from our beets and our turnips. So this is everything for one tub. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about an inch or two of my Miracle-Gro potting mix. And then once I have about an inch or so, probably about 4 to 6 inches from the top, I'm going to add all of my amendments. I'm going to sprinkle it all over. Then I'll add more of the potting mix, so I'm about an inch or so from the top, and then we'll seed, and then we'll water in. Going to get it mixed in real good.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Good trash bag. Probably good. Perfect.
All right, now we got to water it in.
So these should come up real quick. Like we should see results from these in like a week to 10 days.
This one has it?
No, that's number 3. That one needs one.
So you decided to put the lids on, so in case it rains, the seeds don't get washed away, at least until they get
No, it's fine, just like that.
kind of a leg, or kind of germinated a little bit, right?
Yeah, so
Where?
it's supposed to rain in the next few days, and I don't want the seeds to all wash away. The soil's going to hold the moisture. These lids are going to help hold the moisture. Let me grab some rocks.
Did you put any in there?
I put 3 in this right one. But I was looking for more to put in the other 3.
Need more worms.
We should start seeing some germination in about a week to 2 weeks.
You might see it before then. So we have carrots and beets and turnips, and then down there we have radishes and jalapenos, tomatoes, and a sweet pepper. So far in the ground, or I guess not in the ground, in buckets and tubs, and hopefully we will see the fruits of our labor in just here in a couple of weeks.
I've been looking.
So Jerry, you want to close the video?
All right, guys, so thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video. That's really the best way that you can help get us out there, and hit that notification bell so you're up to date on all of our upcoming videos. At some point we are going to do a full walkthrough of our garden, so stand by for that. Hopefully it'll be happening within the next few days, guys, but thanks for watching.